For years I've been a silent spectre within these walls, an unseen guardian of secrets and harbinger of despair. The family that occupies this home remains blissfully unaware of my existence, and that's how it must remain. It began as an experiment, a twisted curiosity that nestled in the dark corners of my mind. I'd lost everything in the outside world, my family, my friends, and my sanity. This forsaken house, riddled with the scars of time, was my only refuge. My initial intentions were innocent enough, just a harmless voyeur observing the mundane lives of others. But the isolation, the solitude, it festered like a malignant tumor, transforming me into something darker, something far from human. As days turned to months and months to years, I watched them. The family consisted of a mother, a father, and a young daughter named Emily. They were the epitome of normality, their laughter echoing through the house, their love palpable in every room. But to me, they were nothing more than characters in my shadowy theatre. I learned their routines, their secrets, and their vulnerabilities. My existence was woven into the very fabric of their lives. I studied the father's late-night research, the mother's whispered confessions to the mirror, and young Emily's innocent dreams. At first, my interference was subtle, a rearranged trinket here, a faint whisper there. I reveled in their confusion, the subtle shifts in their behavior. It was an intoxicating power, the ability to manipulate their lives from the shadows. As the years passed, my pranks grew bolder. I'd awaken them in the dead of night with phantom footsteps or the sound of distant weeping. I watched as their unity crumbled, suspicion poisoning their love for one another. The mother blamed the father blamed the stress of his work, and Emily retreated into a world of imaginary friends. But I craved more. I wanted to see them torn apart, to witness their lives unravel completely. It was an obsession that consumed me. One fateful night, as the house lay shrouded in darkness, I concocted my most devilish scheme yet. I whispered lies into the father's dreams, convincing him that his wife was plotting against him. The paranoia took root, and he confronted his wife in a fit of rage. I watched from my hidden vantage point as their argument escalated, voices rising to a crescendo of anger and despair. The mother, unable to bear his accusations any longer, fled the house, leaving behind her husband and a terrified Emily. The father, consumed by guilt and anger, lashed out at Emily. In the dim glow of her nightlight, I saw the fear in her eyes, and it filled me with a perverse satisfaction. The very essence of their lives was crumbling before me. But it wasn't enough. I wanted to witness their ultimate downfall, to see their lives shattered beyond repair, and so I orchestrated a final act of tragedy. One evening, as Emily played alone in her room, I whispered to her in a voice that mimicked her mother's. I urged her to join her parents, who had supposedly reconciled in the living room. I promised her that they were waiting with open arms. The naive child, longing for the return of her family's happiness, obeyed my sinister command. She descended the stairs, her footsteps echoing in the empty house. And that's when it happened. As Emily reached the bottom of the stairs, I placed an object for her to trip on, and in a bliss of convergence, she fell. Her fragile neck collided with the edge of a table, and her life was extinguished in an instant. I watched as her tiny body lay motionless on the floor, her lifeless eyes staring into the void. The father, rushing to his daughter's side, found her lifeless body. His anguished cries filled the house, a symphony of despair that echoed through the walls like Beethoven's symphony. I had achieved my devilish goal. I had destroyed an innocent life, shattered a family, and filled my sadistic fantasy just to move on to a new family and a new life to take.